Yes, so welcome guys. Today we have Dhruv, who is going to talk about Portuguese influence on Goa. And we had one lecture on Saturday, which saw quite a good response, where we had around 20-25 people joining in. Hopefully that will happen as the lecture progresses. So to introduce Dhruv, Dhruv is an assistant professor of the Portuguese and Lusophone Studies program at Chennai Goimba School of Languages and Literature at Goa University. And Dhruv is right now on the verge of completing his thesis in international relations, and he's writing it in Portuguese. I know Dhruv from school days, where I remember Dhruv getting interested in Portuguese at the age of 12 or 13, and that makes it like 2 decades of study of Portuguese that Dhruv has undergone. He was in Portugal for quite a while in the last few years, and I hand over the presentation to Dhruv, and maybe he'll continue from here on. Yes, Dhruv.
Okay, thank you, Siddharaj. So I think we had reached this part, right? So did I explain the meaning of the word or the origin of the word kapi? I think we had finished with that, right? Siddharaj, your mic.
I think you can start off with that. Most of the people are new, so you can start off with
Okay.
that story and maybe.
So just to okay, so we'll come to that also for the second session. So I'm going to gradually come into that part also, because it's coming up next on the next slide. So Indian or Goan cuisine has been influenced in a very big way by the Portuguese. As we know, they had a very large empire spread across multiple continents, from Brazil to various parts of Africa to Southeast Asia. And from there was a lot of interchange of various food items, which they took from one colony to another. Among the many things that they brought to Goa, or of course, as we know, tomato, potato, pineapple, cashew, corn, and also, interestingly, guava and papaya and groundnut, which we know as bicard. And one very interesting is chili. So what is the word? What is the Konkani word for chili? What is the Konkani word for chili?
Yeah, Stephen, go ahead. Stephen, you can answer. Or maybe Madhvi Kamath can.
Mirsang.
Yes, mirsang. So this word has a very interesting origin. So before the Portuguese brought chili, so what do you think we used to spice our food? Which spice? It's spicy.
Miria.
Miria. What is miria in English?
Pepper.
Pepper.
Pepper. And if you look at the shape of a chili, it resembles one native vegetable that we have over here, which we use in human. What is drumstick in Konkani?
Sango.
Sango.
Sango. So we have a new vegetable which is in the shape of a sang, and it is spicy like miria. If you join miria and sang, what do we get?
Oh, mirsang.
Mirsang. Another very interesting food item is paneer. So again, there is a lot of debate regarding this, but I don't think there exists any record of paneer existing here before the arrival of the Portuguese. So this has a to do with a type of cheese which they have in Portugal called cottage cheese, which is what we have here as is known as paneer. So I believe I remember reading one article which was about the process of splitting of milk by using lemon. I think this process did not exist before the arrival of the Portuguese.
Okay.
And of course, there is, of course, mangoes have existed since time immemorial, but this variety of mango called mankurad, which we all know in Goa, has its origin or the name is manga curada, which is grafted mango in Portuguese. Manga is mango, curada is grafted. So
Okay.
manga curada became mankurad. And the other favorite variety of Goan mango is mangilar or mangilar. So probably it was first grafted by this person called Ilariu. Manga Ilariu became mangilar or mangilal.
Okay.
Nice.
I'll also point out that guava and papaya. So these words, the root words, goiaba and papaya are native Brazilian. So they have those tribes over there called Tupi and Guarani. So these words are very similar to their native languages. So probably they have their origin in their native language. Even ananas,
Ananas.
anas, what we know in Konkani is ananas. And of course, vinagre. Yes. So as we know, a lot of recipes have been influenced by the Portuguese. So of course, shakuti, as we know, so kafrial. So now here I come to the word kapri. Interestingly, in Mozambique, they have a dish called kafrial. And I remember one Mozambican friend in Portugal of mine, she told me that this word, if my memory serves me right, this is the word for chicken in their native language. Or it could be also a preparation of chicken. So this recipe was brought to Goa by Mozambican slaves who were brought to Goa by the Portuguese. So now, so there can be possibly a theories of the origin of the word kapri. One is that the Mozambican slaves brought this recipe this kafrial to Goa. So kafrial wale so would have become kapri. Or the other theory is that they were brought to Goa on Arabic ships, or ships were operated by Arab ship owners. So these people, the native Mozambicans who are not Muslim. So what is the word for not non-Muslim?
Kafir.
Anybody? Kafir. As I said last time, kafir, which here would have become kafar. From kafar, they become khapri over a period of time. Then, of course, as we know, vindalu, which is vindalhu. The Portuguese word is vindalhu. This comes from carne de vinha de alhos, which means meat in garlic marinade in Portuguese. From there we get vindalhu. Sorpotel, interestingly, is the original word, the root word is sarapatel. It originates from the southern Portugal, a region called Alentejo. They have a dish over there called sarapatel, which here would have become Indo-Portuguese and become sorpotel. Bebinka has a very interesting story. So there are some who say that it was invented by a nun here in Goa. But interestingly, in a former Portuguese colony called Timor. So where is Timor located? Who knows? East Timor.
No idea. Yes, I don't know.
Near
So it
Singapore.
is, pardon?
Near Singapore.
So to the south of Singapore, it is a part of Indonesia. So it has declared independence now from Indonesia. So it is in Indonesia. So there in East Timor, they have a dish called bibinka, which is there for them. It is like a something like a cake type dish. So probably it would have been brought by the Portuguese from Timor to Goa. Or East Timor.
Dhruv, could you say that again? We lost you. Dhruv, could you say that again? Losing your connection. Dhruv, hello. I think we are losing.
Hello, can I think Dharaj, can you hear me?
Dhruv, can you repeat that whole thing again? Because I think we lost you in the middle. Your voice was breaking.
Yes. So
We have lost Dhruv. Hopefully, he'll join us quickly. Oh, he's back. Dhruv, can you share it again? We lost you. Please join.
can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Okay. So I don't know what happened.
yeah. It's a connectivity issue. So not an issue. Go on.
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So bibinka, right?
Yeah. Go. No. So you were talking about bibinka, and you reached the part where you said that bibinka might have been brought from East Timor to Goa. Yeah.
Yes. So I said, so since they're in East Timor, they have a dish called bibinka, so which is like a cake for them. So it probably might have been this nun, Bebiana, who brought it from East Timor to Goa. Again, we don't know, but it's a possibility.
Nice.
Then of course there is churros or choris. So the Portuguese word is choris, sausage.
Nice.
Interestingly, the concept of soup itself, which did not exist before the arrival of the Portuguese. The so-called Portuguese houses, which are not really Portuguese, but they are Indo-Portuguese houses. In Goan houses, in particular, influenced by some characteristics of traditional Portuguese architecture. So, of course, to your top left, you can see a typical Indo-Portuguese house. On your top right, the pink building is a photo I took of a traditional building, an old building in Portugal. Can you see those small balconies?
Yeah.
So we see them also in old Goa houses, right? Those small balconies.
Yeah. Fontenash.
Yes, fontainhas.
Fontaine.
Fontainhas. So on your bottom left is another photo I clicked in Portugal of a traditional Portuguese house. And you look to your top right, you can see the similarities in architecture. To your lower right is which temple? Which Goan temple is that?
I have no idea.
Who can identify that temple? Madhvi?
Madhvika ki, can you?
Um, is it from Ponda? Is it in Ponda?
Yes, one of those, the
Yes,
temple
in
zone.
Ponda. Yeah, the
So is
temple
that-
zone in Ponda.
The temple zone in Ponda. So if I'm not mistaken, it is Ramnathi.
Okay.
So wait, what happened?
No, nothing.
So can you see this house on the top right? This is another old Portuguese house whose photo I clicked. On your top right on this screen, on this slide, can you see
Yeah.
that house? And look at the similarity in architecture with the temple. So as Siddharaj pointed out a few days back, so there were many temples, that old Goan temples, that were destroyed during the time of the Inquisition, which were rebuilt in the interior in Ponda, which would have incorporated an Indo-Portuguese architecture. Of course, we have the common civil code, the family laws, property rights for women, and compulsory civil registration of birth, marriage, death. So in Goa, the religious temple marriage is not recognized. It is the civil registration which is recognized in Goa. Of course, division of property among all siblings regardless of their gender. Equal division of property between sons and daughters. And of course, the common civil code is another legacy.
Blessing, is
Yes.
a blessing.
Here, here I have clicked some photos of old Portuguese buildings. So here you can again see the balconies on the top left. And here on your top right, you can see this roof. Can you see this roof here?
Yeah.
And here you can see this
Yeah.
here in this temple and also in this Indo-Portuguese house. This roof. So here on your bottom right is a photo I clicked of a basilica in Portugal, Basilica of Estrela. And to your bottom left is the Mangeshi temple.
Hmm.
So now, what was influenced by what, I don't know. Let us put this, you can say, I'm just leaving this here. So on music and dance. So before that, on your bottom right is the photo I clicked in Portugal of azulejos. Azulejo tiles, the blue and white tiles. And we see them all over Goa as well, don't we?
Yeah.
Signboards, old houses. To your bottom left is a wheel of cottage cheese. So this is probably paneer as we know it here in India. So this is a recipe that they have been making for hundreds of years, cottage cheese. Now, what is the mando?
You can maybe play a video for us.
Okay, I don't know if it will work.
You just have to share that screen with us.
Yeah, so I'll play it after I finish with this presentation.
Okay.
So the traditional Goan mando, which you can see on the top left. So many of these themes, which is a favorite word of them, they are called saudade, which is longing. Is a very frequent theme in
Can
mando.
you repeat again? We lost you again for a
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Just
So,
repeat the thing from Mando. Yeah.
Okay. So the original mando of Goa, so which you can see on the top left, has many similarities with the Portuguese fado. So in terms of the tempo of the music, which is a slow, melancholy type of music, is predominant in fado. In terms of the themes also, the themes of love, longing, what is known as saudade, a very melancholy type of longing is found in mando as well as fado. If you look at the dress that the ladies are wearing over here, you can see that in the hand they're carrying a fan. So where has that fan come from? So obviously it's not native here. It comes from a part of Northeast Asia. So which colony did the Portuguese have in East Asia? Until very recently. Have you heard of Macau?
Macau.
So where is
Macau.
Macau located? Where can you? This fan is very typical of which place?
Malaysia,
Malaysia.
China.
China.
China. Macau is located in China.
China.
So Malaysia is this dress over here, which they're wearing, called sarong.
Okay.
So this dress is very typical of Southeast Asia, Malaysia. So the Portuguese had a colony over there called Malacca. It's today located in Malaysia.
Hmm.
So this dress is very typical of women of Southeast Asia, particularly Malaysia, the sarong. So in here it is called as panu baju. So baju, I think, is the word in Malay, in Malayu for that kind of dress, which we know as sarong. So another very interesting legacy is of Western music. Western music was introduced to India by the Portuguese churches in Goa, which was picked up by Goan musicians who then migrated to known as, and this is how Western music was introduced to Bollywood by Goan musicians in Bombay, who had learnt it at the Portuguese church. So every time you hear a sounding Bollywood song from the 1950s and 60s, that song, all those songs have been composed by Goan Catholic musicians and some Goan Hindus also.
Can you
So
give
they
some
were worked as
examples?
musicians and arrangers. Yes, so like you have among musicians and arrangers, you have Sebastian D'Souza, Chocolate, John Gomes, and later came Antonio Gonçalves. And then some Goan Hindus also like Dattaram Wadekar and Datta Naik, who was known as N. Datta. So if you have to take some songs, so every Western sounding song from that era was composed by this lot. So anyone from that period over here who listens to those songs from that era? Anybody?
I think everybody has heard it
Yes.
somewhere or the other.
Yes.
Okay.
Everybody
So you
has-
have heard of a song called Dost Dost Na Raha, composed by Sebastian D'Souza. And his score of that song is still exists. The score of that song, the notations. Then you have Dil ki nazar se nazron ke dil se.
Hmm.
Dil ki nazar se nazron ke dil se. Composed by Sebastian D'Souza. And if you go a little back in time, you have Mina Mina Dika Dika De Dai Dama Dika, composed by
Yes.
John Gomes. If you go even back further in time, Mud Mud Ke Na Dekh Mud Mud Ke, composed by Dattaram Wadekar. And if you go even back further in time, Chola Jo Badke Dil Mera Ladke, composed by Chick Chocolate. But of course, they were never, all these musicians, they were never credited their compositions. In fact, on the YouTube channel of Rajya Sabha TV, there's a full documentary of this, which you can watch. But the Goan musicians who introduced Western music into Bollywood. So of course, my name is Anthony Gonçalves. Yes, Nehal?
Oh, yes. Sorry, I just want to ask. The Goan Mando is for the like Catholics, as in it was mostly in the Catholic families, not in the Hindu Goan families, right?
Not mostly, only.
Only in the Catholic. Yes, that's what I just want to confirm because yeah. Okay.
Not even in the Catholic, only a certain section of Catholics.
Yeah, mostly the elite, you can say.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
the elite.
Not
Yeah.
mostly, only.
Only the elite.
Only.
Well, that was for
Yes.
the Fadu also. It's only the elite
No,
family.
Fadu is, yes.
In Goa,
Yes.
I'm talking.
But
Yeah.
now Fadu has become, yes. Fadu is also only among that section.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
So if you were to ask Goan Hindus, how many Goan Hindus have heard original?
Lost you.
I'm not talking about that popular. Pardon?
No, I just lost you. What was
Yes.
the question? What
Yeah.
was the question?
No, I said
Lost you.
so. No, I said, how many Goan Hindus would have heard the original actual Mando?
Oh, no. I don't think so.
Yeah.
So even I didn't know what was the Mando until quite recently. Because we have never been exposed to it.
As
So I
in
came,
fact, Dhruv, I would like to inform you,
yes, yes,
that every year actually the government used to have a festival earlier when we were kids, and that was the time when the all the like the folk things were there at Kala Academy, and that was the time when we first saw the Mando when we were like in school. But
Yes.
that was not a regular sort of a thing.
yes.
Yeah,
So
so
Goan
that was
Hindus have practically zero contact with.
with the Mando.
Yeah,
We only know popular songs of Mando. Not Mando actually, but
yeah,
the pop ones.
yes.
Yeah. I put one in the
So
ad also, just to,
yeah.
yeah.
But that is not Mando. So I'll play for you later. What is the real Mando?
Okay.
So I discovered Mando because not out of, can say out of will, but because I had as a lecturer, I had to guide a master in Portuguese who was researching the connection between Mando and Fado. So this is how I discovered Mando. Very late in life. So what do the Portuguese, to finish it off? What do the Portuguese know about Goa? And you see where I'm going to drop on number. The Portuguese, by and large, have never heard of Goa, and they don't care.
So basically,
And I'm not making this up.
Portuguese have not heard of Goa.
Yes,
Okay.
they have never heard of Goa, and they don't care. And this is something I discovered personally discovered in Portugal, over a period of time. So I can see Avnish's expression over there.
Okay. That's an avatar. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that the Portuguese and that they've never heard of Goa and they don't care. So they only know India. They want to engage with India via Mumbai, Delhi, and Bangalore. So they come to visit here. They go to Jaipur, Rishikesh, and all these places. Not many Portuguese come to Goa because they want India. So the idea that exists of India in the West. So that is what they want. Not. And I try to find out why it is so. So when came here in 1490,
Dhruv,
so where did he come?
Dhruv,
Yes.
can you switch off your video so that we don't lose you on the bandwidth?
Yeah. So I'll just
Switch off
close
your
this
video.
video. So
Yeah.
just to finish off. So on your top left, you can see a brand of spices. This I clicked for in the. So the brand of spices is called Margao.
Dhruv,
That is the only more or less most people.
Dhruv, your voice is breaking. So
Yes,
can you switch off your camera so
yeah,
that
I'll switch it.
we can hear you?
Yeah. Okay. Okay, is it better?
Yes.
It is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So on your left, you can see a brand of spices called Goan. This is in Portugal. So this is a photo I clicked of in a supermarket in Portugal. So most people they only know they've seen this brand of spices. It's called Margao, but they have no idea what Margao is.
Mhm.
And to your bottom right is Shoris. Your top, can you see that dish we have put uploaded? So on the top right is acting, that is Portuguese Sanda Chetona,
Portuguese or Sanache
which is Feijoada.
They have also.
Feijoada.
Can you say that again?
Pardon?
Can you say that again?
Feijoada. I think it- Can you hear me?
Your
No.
voice is breaking. So can you say that again for us, please?
So, it's called a feijoada.
Pijuada.
Feijão is yes, feijoada. Feijão are beans.
Okay.
So, I tried to find, actually my original PhD topic was Goa as a point of contact between India and the Portuguese speaking world. That is Portugal, Brazil, Portuguese, Africa, and all. With keeping in mind the current scenario, not history, the current scenario. I found out that I never heard of Goa. So I tried to find out why. So when Vasco da Gama came here, so where did he reach? We have a city called Vasco da Gama in Goa. Where did he actually reach?
Calicut.
Calicut. In search of what?
Spices. Is it? I don't know.
Spices from India. Right from the beginning, their narrative was always about India and never about. It was never about Goa, but always about India. So Goa for them, along with Daman and Diu, was merely their slice of India, known collectively as Portuguese India or India Portuguesa. So they
Indo-Portuguese.
yes,
It's Indo-Portuguese,
so right, India Portuguesa.
India. Portuguese. Okay.
So right from the beginning, it was always about India and never about Goa. Practically never heard of Goa's Indo-Portuguese food, music, architecture, churches, Catholicism in Goa, etc., etc. Only a mere of spices sold in Portugal. So they've never heard of any of those Indo-Portuguese dishes which I have shared about before. They've never heard of shakuti, vindaloo, and all the kafriar and all of them. Never heard of it. So although now some Indian restaurants are selling bibinka, vindaloo, and all. So they know these dishes through Indian restaurants
Mhm.
and not because of their Goan. Interestingly, the Portuguese passport people are referred to as Indians with Portuguese passport, and this is something I've seen on TV there, in the news channels. I've actually seen this being in those things in the news channels. They refer to Indians with Portuguese passport, and this is also something I've seen is the Prime Minister Antonio Costa, who has his house in Margao, he's referred to as being of Indian origin and not of Goan origin. The news channels actively say that he's of Indian origin, and because he doesn't really care about Goa, even though he has his ancestral house. So for him, it's about engaging with India and not with Goa. So the largest South Asian communities in Portugal are Bangladeshis, Nepalis, Indian, Punjabis, and Pakistanis. So there are right now around 33,000 Bangladeshis, 31,000 Nepalis, 27,000 Indian Punjabis, and around 29,000 Indian Punjabis and 27,000 Pakistanis in Portugal. Goans are nowhere to be seen. A very small, minor, diminishing community.
Yeah.
The ones who migrated long time ago, they have they've integrated with the Portuguese, and there are hardly any Goans in Portugal now. Very few.
I wanted to ask. I've not really read, but is there a museum about Goa there in Portugal, about Goan history and all that?
No, not really.
No, not really. They don't have any like
Never.
whatever. Okay,
What?
okay.
What? They have not have what?
No, I thought maybe they have a museum or something there that
Oh.
showcases the Goan history or the link or something. No, I just thought, or maybe I
No,
read
for
it wrong.
that to happen, the proposition over here is that they need to have heard of Goa.
Okay, okay.
So maybe Dhruv, is it under the name of India
Yes,
that they have it?
Oh,
not really.
okay.
They don't
No.
have.
No. Portuguese India was a minor colony for them. Their biggest colonies and most important colonies were Brazil, Angola, and Mozambique. Goa, and along with Daman and India Portuguese was never profitable for them.
Hmm.
They never earned any profit out of it. So it wasn't really important for them
So that's
for
the reason,
over the period of history. I mean, after the Inquisition. Pardon?
so that's the reason maybe
After the
a lot,
spice.
a lot of Goan businessmen started investing in Mozambique.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because there was a very large thriving community of Goan in Mozambique. And a large thriving community of Damanis and Duenses also in Mozambique. So after Mozambique became independent in 1975, all of these people, Goans, Damanis, and Duenses, were expelled to Portugal, where they formed the Goan community, the Damanis community, Duens community. So Mozambique has always had a historical connection with Goa. So I'll play the video of Padu and of Mando. I don't know how it's going to work. Let's see if I can play a video via
No, you can
Screen
share your
share.
screen and automatically the audio will also be captured.
Okay.
Make sure you share the right screen.
Yes.
And
yes.
there's an option called share sound. So then we will be able
Yes,
to
I
hear.
just saw it. Yeah.
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 Did you take on the share sound, Dhruv?
Yes, I'm sharing screen now. So this girl is a student of the Portuguese department, Goa University. Her name is Srushi Prabhudesai.
Okay, go ahead. You can play.
Can you hear the audio?
Yeah.
Are you all able to hear the audio?
Yeah, just play it, no?
So this type of music, this genre of music called Padu. So it is accompanied only by two guitars. Yes.
Say that again because
Yes.
your audio was lagging a bit. So it's fine.
Okay. I
Yeah,
said this genre of music called Fado, it's accompanied by only two guitars. So this is the normal guitar, and to your left, you can see the round one, that is the Portuguese guitar. So there are no other instruments accompanying a fado. So could you hear what it sounds? Yes, somebody raised a hand. Iliad.
Lloyd.
Okay. No.
Lloyd? Yes, go ahead, Lloyd. You can unmute yourself and ask.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask a question about the point you made earlier that Portugal doesn't have a lot of Goan influence. I read about some architecture in Portugal, and they've taken a lot from Goan architecture, and there are specific exhibits at East Asian museums that have taken Goan exhibits. I found an example also. I can't pronounce it properly, but Museo de Orient has also
Museo de
full
Orient. Yes.
Yeah, that.
Yeah. I think I was talking about the same one then, correct?
Yes.
Because I didn't have much
It is-
reference, but it's a,
Yes.
yeah.
Museo de Orient. It is
Yes.
an belongs to an organization called Fundação Orient. So its task is to reconnect with the former Portuguese colonies of Asia. So it has one delegation here in Goa, the one in Timor, one in Macau. So it's about reconnecting with the former Portuguese colonies of Asia. That's why it is Orient. Orient means East. So it is not just about Goa. It's also about India, Asia, and other parts.
But I also read a lot about architecture, and
Yes.
Portugal has a lot of Baroque
Yes, there
architecture.
are.
But it's
There
been
has been-
specifically said that Baroque architecture specifically took abalone shell and pearl shell frescoes from Goa. They usually
Yes,
used
there
to
has been.
discard all that, but they started using it after going to Goa and seeing
Yes,
how
there has been, among the Portuguese colonies, there has been a lot of interchange over the centuries. There has been influence, but by and large, if you go today in Portugal and ask them about Goa, you will get blank expressions. And even I've spoken to so many of even the older generation of Portuguese. I mean, those who have lived, lived before 1961. I've spoken to a lot of them. The only thing they know about Goa is Goa Damandiu as a joint entity which appears in their school textbooks. That's all they know. And I've gone through their school textbooks also. And I've scanned them actually. Goa appears exactly once in their school textbooks. As a sentence, Goa Damandiu, it was India, which was India Portuguesa. That's it. It appears exactly once in their school textbooks. So there has been a lot of influence and interchange over the centuries. But today, I remember one of the older generation of Goan migrants to Portugal, who migrated to Portugal in 1962 and was a professor of history there in Lisbon. So when he migrated to Portugal in 1962, he told me that even at that time, they was to refer to him as being Indian and not Goan. Even there has been a lot of influence, but somewhere down the line, something happened, which we don't know what happened.
Maybe they always referred to it as India. But then Goa was
Yeah,
India.
they always did. They always refer to it as India Portuguesa.
Yeah.
Always.
But when they refer to India Portuguesa, they are referring to Goa, Daman and Diu.
Yes, Goa Damandiu as a joint colony.
It's a
Okay,
different
thank you.
nomenclature.
Thank you.
It was always about India Portuguesa. Because they had, for a long period of time, they had other colonies also. In Kerala, in Karnataka, Maharashtra also.
They had colonies.
Vasai, Chol,
places.
and Korlai. Pardon?
Yeah.
Pardon?
Kodlai.
Yeah.
Vasai, Chol,
Vasai.
and Korlai, around the region of Mumbai. So they had various colonies along the coast of India.
Dhruv, I don't know if this is correct. I'd like to raise this, but Mumbai belonged to the Portuguese, and it was given as a dowry to the Portuguese girl
Yes,
who
in fact,
married into.
Yeah.
So
In the
that's
last
Portuguese
session,
princess.
yeah, in the last session, Dhruv explained this. I think, yes.
So the Portuguese had a part.
Yes, even in Karnataka and Kerala, they had various colonies, which were all of these, which were. Pardon? Yes, Pratit. Yes, all calling yourself Indian. Yes. In fact, Antonio Costa, the Prime Minister, he openly says that he is of Indian origin. He openly says it in his interviews.
Yeah.
So I'll play a video of
But
Mando.
the irony is the whole idea of Goa came about because Portuguese ruled it, right? Otherwise, we would have been assimilated into Maharashtra and Karnataka.
Konkan.
Yeah.
Konkan.
If not for them, we would have got independence at the same time the Indian heartland would have gotten it, and we would have been assimilated into, because we're so small that we would have been eaten up by either of the two or both of them.
So I'll share a video of the original real Mando.
The dance.
This is a real Mando.
The first prize. Goan chicken.
You can see very clearly here the Western influence in this type of music. Like where the entire Portuguese Empire came as one. Style of music, the dress, the fact that guitar and violin combined with the ghumot.
Oh, nice.
You can see it here. There is guitar, there is violin, and there is ghumot. And you can very, very clearly note the Portuguese influence on the style of singing and the melody, the rhythm. If you have any, this will be uploaded to the Vidyavrix channel, right? YouTube channel.
Yeah, we would be doing that post this
session. So don't forget to subscribe to the Vidyavrix channel. And if you have any questions, you can leave them on the video that will be uploaded to the channel.
Maybe we could share it with you. I don't know how you received this invitation. Maybe directly through me or Dhruv, or so I will post those videos to my contact group, whoever has received.
Yeah, even that video where Shrishti is singing, that was actually one heritage event that even I had attended personally.
Oh,
so there's a full video of the entire Fadu and the Mando, like properly. Yes, in Panjim. Yeah.
Any questions anyone has? Because I think we have a couple of minutes. Anything you want to talk, or shed some light on some knowledge that you might have gathered somewhere, then feel free. We're here for another 5 minutes. Prateek has something to say. Oh, Prateek, please reply to everyone. No, can you copy paste that to everyone? He says that, sir, I feel Goa did have its unique identity as it is specifically mentioned in Mahabharata to the area now known as Goa as Gopa Rashtra or Goa Rashtra. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not going to get into that.
Yeah.
Not this is beyond my.
Scope.
So somebody who knows about it can reply.
It looks like that the name Goa has come from that period, right?
Actually, go the word. This is what I have. I just I don't know much, but Goa go because cow, a guy, cow go. So actually, it was
Yes.
Goa like that
Yeah.
based on the cow. So go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was also known as Goa Puri and whatever.
Hmm.
A lot of different names with Go, right?
Yeah.
Gomanta
Oh,
Kopakapatalam.
yeah, exactly. The cow. Huh. Yeah.
Yeah. Go Goa.
One thing is sure that that Portuguese have left a very inedible mark on the Goan history.
Yes.
But the future generation is slowly getting away from it, because if I remember in my childhood, like I'm like born after 7 years after the Goan independence, and we used to use a lot of Portuguese words like almar, kuler, kadel, everything was like mostly Portuguese words. But today I see that these words are replaced by English words. So, we don't use them anymore. Or if we use the new generation is like, what are you talking? They don't even make sense of it. But then that is culture, it has to change, it has to integrate itself, and the change is bound to happen. But we cannot forget the
Yes.
legacy that has been left by these Portuguese.
So the most important is the common civil code, right? And that like the whole of India, like it will take years for it to be implemented.
Implemented. That is true.
That is
Apart from that,
a
apart
blessing.
yeah, and apart from that, it also gave us a very unique identity. In the sense, we were not as like marked by the customs, the traditions, the casteism, and other things which was there all around India. In Goa, the women were very progressive at that time.
Yeah,
The first college was in
yes,
India.
but I'm not too sure about the caste bit. Casteism is still prevalent in
It is still prevalent. It is becoming so. We are moving away from the progressive thoughts that came in.
correct.
Like because when the Portuguese did the conversions, they saw to it that the entire identity of that person underwent a change, whereas it was not the same in British India, because the costumes and the food habits remained same. But here they saw to it that that also changed. That was one thing. And another interesting fact which you talked about paneer, I don't know like when paneer started, whether Portuguese started or what it, but I remember my granny used to make a dish called sayo boyo, दूध वाट लागले की त्याचे sayo boyo करत. That was before paneer.
Yeah. But maybe even if you look at what is the most important sort of like if I say Indian cuisine, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? It's butter
It-
chicken, right?
Yes,
Butter chicken has tomatoes in it, which
yes.
the Portuguese brought here, right? So yeah, so
And that the thing is that my grandmother used to tell me that as she when she was a kid, now
Hmm.
see, she was born in somewhere in 1917, okay. So when she was there as a child, she said we didn't eat tomatoes because she thought that like the generation believed that that was something to do with the blood, and that if you eat that, then you would become a Catholic. So
yeah,
they
maybe
used to
because they
avoid it.
brought it here, right? Yeah.
Yes,
I've heard about also the same thing about Pau being written that
yes, pow. Yeah, true.
Yeah.
yeah, for
I
that
think
for a long
one
time
thing,
Goan Hindus did not eat Pau.
yeah,
Yes,
but
they did not eat.
to tell you now
Yeah.
that
They did.
one of the things that I missed the most when I was away from Goa at all times was pav. Like, as in, if you give me like Botetla pav, then I'm like done. Like
Yes.
anything could be eaten with that.
Yeah. Dhruv, it was a very, very interesting session. Thank you for taking
Thank you
us
so
through.
much.
Yeah. And if you remember me, you used to come to Little Penguins. We were a kid at that time.
Shukra
Uh,
studied at Little Penguins.
No, he used to come for a computer class.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Dhruv, I have a
I don't
question.
know.
Yes, since it's about the whole Portuguese, as Madhavi said, so I just want to know, are there really people taking up Portuguese in the schools? Like as she said, people are not really bothered about the language anymore, and only the elite people, or whatever few people in Goa speak Portuguese, or all that. Others are not bothered. Is this a true fact, and it'll slowly go away?
No, no.
No, there is in fact,
Yeah,
yeah,
people,
an increasing number of children are learning Portuguese.
Portuguese,
However,
yes.
But there has been a
there's an
shift.
increasing number of people. There
Yeah,
has been a shift.
it is increasing, but I'll tell you two trends. One is Portuguese is introduced in Sharda Mandir very recently, which is a school in Panjim. But Portuguese used to be taught in my school, People's High School, back in the day. But because there were less number of students being taken in, they've stopped Portuguese now. They've stopped.
And
some-
also
Yeah,
because there's a massive shortage of Portuguese teachers.
yeah, because I've heard
There's a
that
massive
students,
shortage.
that students choose French over Portuguese in the schools. This is just what I keep hearing, I hear. But now it's good
It's
that people
true.
are choosing
There is a-
Portuguese. Now it's good. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
There is a slowly an increasing number of children who are opting to learn Portuguese.
CBSE also has Portuguese.
CBSE has Portuguese.
Yes.
Nice.
Okay.
Which school is this you're talking about?
I think it's when I was in Mumbai that time it was there, and I think now it's only till 10th or something because the portions changed after Corona.
Cool. Cool. Nice. Nice to know. Yeah, Prateet, which school are you from? And how old are you? You're in Dempo. Nice.
Okay.
So it's like Dhruv, your alma mater. But he's in science. Dhruv was
Yes.
in arts, Dempe. I was also in Dempe, but yeah, I was science.
I think
Yeah,
you're
we
almost
were born.
at time.
Yeah, I think we'll call it a day.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Dhruv. Thank you everyone for joining in and asking your questions and keeping it a little more interactive. Yeah, and if you want more sessions, do let us know through either through the YouTube comment section, or if you can directly contact us. I'll just write my contact number.
Yeah. Dhruv, thank you so much. It was very, very informative and I enjoyed a lot. You could do more sessions like this, on different aspects of Goa, or, different aspects of, yeah.
I thank Siddharaj for giving this platform, this chance to.
You, yes. Message to, like, just tell us what you would like to know about. Tell us what topic you would want us to, talk about, or get more people to talk to you about. And you can drop a message to me directly. There's my number there, 8806724342 on WhatsApp. And yeah, thank you very much. Good night.
Thank you so much. Oh, no. Thank you, Siddharaj, and thank you, everybody.
Yes, Dhruv, thank you very much.
Attending.
Yeah, that one meeting in the gym room helped.
Yes.
Yeah. Chalo. Bye, man. See you, Delano.
Right.
See you, Snehal. See you, Gauri, Prateet. Bye. Bye.